First off, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, this your brother Dawab Bar from the branch of GMS here in Chicago, coming right back at you with a little lesson. And I listen to the Patriot Nurse sometimes. There are some things that she set up, information that she brings out, some things that she say that makes for a good lesson. And this one right here is very interesting because she is kindling one heck of a fire, and she is really stirring up a pot. I'm going to let y'all listen to it. I'm going to let y'all listen to 2 minutes of it. And before I do that, I'm going to sit up here and give, say Fair Use Act, Fair Use Act, Fair Use Act. I'm not sitting up here making no money off this. I'm just using this for educational purpose. So Fair Use Copyright Act of 1976. So with that being said, before I let her play, I had a scripture pulled up, and I'm going to pull it up because she's really going in on something. I mean, she's really starting some shit with some of the words she's using. And we sit up here know Esau Edom, man. Now, whether she an Edomite or not, I don't know. But I know one thing. Her words really are going to stir up a lot of these motherfucking Edomites. And they're going to come head hunting for a lot of you niggas when that day come. Because of what she's saying. All the shit that she's talking about. But this is Luke 12:49. I am come to send a fire on earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? Hey, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai ain't coming here for pleasantries and for peaches and cream to eat cake and shit. No, he's coming for vengeance. He's coming to destroy this place. But before he comes, guess what? It's going to be already hell breaking out. And like I said, and like the patriotic nurse is saying, get yourself ready and all this other stuff, because it's about to be on and popping. 2024 could be it could be the year. It truly could be the year. I'm going to sit up here and let her go ahead and play, but hey, it's about to be a fire. And when you listen to her words, you're going to see exactly what I mean, what she's saying. So with that, here it goes.
Into the future. I expect in 2024 that there is going to be an increase and a ramping up in the rhetoric of the previously quiet Black Lives Matter type. Really, essentially, these are serial agitators. They are domestic terrorist elements. They know exactly how to utilize the Constitution in order to break it. That's what they do. And the interesting thing is that once you have these type of people get a vocal minority, they have a way of shouting down the majority because the majority's own conscience holds them captive with their moral governance on their own behavior. So they know exactly which buttons to push in order to get their way through, wherein ultimately they get to a place of power and then they crush their opposition. So for 2024, with the elections coming up, if you have paid attention to the goings on in Washington and also probably in your local politics, the left is gearing up. They are gearing up to do more of the same, to probably instigate more things, more events that will show up in the form of riots or protests, mostly peaceful protests. They're going to do it. And when they do it, we need to be ready for it. And so part of being ready for this is not only watching your six, so to speak, but being willing to do the diligence on your part ahead of time. I've released several shorts over the past couple of weeks, kind of recounting some of my best tips for being prepared from a defensive standpoint, whether it's getting your rifle set up or dry practice, things that you can do at the range, things that you can do at home that doesn't require you spending ammo and that doesn't require you even really leaving your home. You need to be able to defend yourself against these people because when it comes right down to it, the left in the United States is championing the actions of a death cult, Islamic fanatic group that slaughtered more Jews in one day than any event since the Holocaust.
See, and there you go. I'm going to end it right there. So you see what she's stirring up. You seeing what she's stirring up. And like I said, I've listened to her before. She said other things before, but she's really, really been she was really drilling home something. And she tried to say it in such a little, how could you say, make it pretty to not sound like she sounded. But everything she's saying is totally against, you so-called Black, Latinos, and Native Americans. What she say about the Islamic, the Muslims. What she say what they did with the so-called you-wish people and all this other shit. She's stirring up one heck of a pot. Yes, she is. And we always sit up here and talk about you women, y'all gonna catch a lot of hell. Y'all gonna catch a lot of hell. And see, y'all got the mouths and think just because, you might have a gun or two, might be able to do this, to do that. Hey, when these motherfucking men come, and ain't nothing gonna stop them. Ain't nothing gonna stop them. But with that, man, hey, look, I'm gonna just grab this one scripture and then I'm gonna sit up here and go to another scripture. I'm going to second address, but I'm gonna just grab this one scripture in Matthew 24, and I'm just gonna go straight to this point. Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. But the point I really want to make up, for nation shall rise against nation. You're going to have nations against nation. That's that civil war, race wars, race riots, however you want to call it. You're going to have that, especially when it breaks out over here. It's going to be rough and be ugly. Don't get it twisted. You're going to have that Isaiah 19 and 2 too, Egyptian against Egyptian. But man, these motherfucking Southern white boys are waiting for something to happen so they can start popping off niggas. That's all they want to do. And what she's saying is going to stir a lot of fire and a lot of thoughts in these guys. Because when you really think about Black Lives Matter and the so-called Black Lives Matter, that bullshit, who do you really see out there? It's a lot of white people. But when they use that term black man, it stokes a fire in people, especially people who don't do no thinking or look at nothing themselves, But that nation against nation is coming, man. And like I said before, she's really stirring up a pot on it. With that, let me sit up here and get to go to I'm gonna go to second edges real quick, and I'm gonna end it there. But hey, it's about to be on and popping, man. It's about to be on and popping, because when all hell break loose, and it is going to break loose, and I'm hoping it does break loose in 2024. Like I said before in one of the other videos I did, I hope it break loose today. I mean, but hey, it's about to happen. It's around the corner. You see the writing on the wall. You see it coming. Well, except for some of our people who are too busy worrying about dumb shit. But this is 2 Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. And they shall not regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in the power. And if you listen to the video again, she stood up and said, your neighbors ain't going to give a damn about you. She made that point, and she is right. Hey, sword and destruction, people going to be fighting against each other. That nation against nation, the have and have-nots, the race wars, the civil wars, your politicians, you're going to have a lot of conflict in this country, man, and it's coming. And people too blind, they too busy saying peace and safety and partying and kicking and getting ready for this bullshit-ass holiday. Not understanding the pain and the torture and the terror and the chaos and the destruction that's ahead. Too busy on some bullshit. But she's sitting up here, she's talking to her fans. And even though it sit up here and said, I'll say, it look, before I go back to that scripture, it looked like it says she got 2,700 views. I'm quite sure it's more than that. You know how YouTube is. They do a lot of bullshit. She probably got way more than that too. And just think about it. All those people that's looking. A lot of them, when they look, I'm going to tell you right now, when you look at certain channels, like we look at certain channels for information, to get information, so we can do lessons, to get information, so we can feed the flock. But majority of the people that look at her channels and stuff like that, them preppers, the motherfuckers that follow her, the motherfuckers that believe solely the things that she's saying, the motherfuckers that's ready to get their guns ready to blaze up. But this 2 Esdras 15 and 16 again. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they ain't going to care about no authority during that time. Nothing's going to stop them. A man shall desire to go into city and shall not be able to, and that's going to be a martial law. That's going to be a martial law. Hey, you're going to be stopped. Checkpoints and all sorts of shit going to be around. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be trouble, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And you're going to have a lot of men out here, a lot of mighty men, motherfuckers who think they tough, going to be shitting in their pants and peeing on themselves when all this hell breaks loose. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 19. And here's another point. And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And before I comment on this part, to all you women who think you got guns and you're on your own and think a dog named Spot is going to save you, y'all going to be the first ones that these motherfuckers coming for. Y'all think y'all safe. Y'all think y'all know what you're talking about. All you motherfucking that get on these YouTube channels and sit up here and say do this and all this other stuff. Trust me, these people know who you and know where you are. And they know that, damn well, man, she ain't got no man. Guess what? They ain't gonna have to bind up the strong man if you ain't got no man. They coming. And it don't matter how many guns. You could have a Gatling gun. If they want in, they coming in. And she did make a point about, hey, they gonna be destroying the neighbors and all this other stuff. Hey, your neighbor coming for you. That's gonna be the main motherfucker coming for you. Cause he know what you got. And he know what you don't got. You people, man, you're going on these YouTube channels broadcasting everything that you're doing. And guess what? Everyone's looking. Everyone's looking. All you doing is preparing for somebody else. But with that being said, I'm going to sit up and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to those elders and apostles out there from Great Millstone who teach and rule well. A lot of respect to you brothers out there on the highways and byways preaching this truth around the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect that you guys may be sealed soon. And with that, I always say, stay prayed up, brothers. Pray for each other because we're almost up out of here. So with that, I'd like to say Kwam Yasharella and Anya Habatham Akim. Shalom.